TMCnet at NextCom 2008.
Welcome again. I'm Erik Linask, coming to you live from Las Vegas at NextCom 2008. I have the pleasure now of being joined by Darrell Jordan Smith, Sun Microsystems Vice President of Global Communications and Media. Welcome, Darrell.
Thank you very much, Erik.
So, as you're aware, there's been an awful lot of talk and media attention and hype giving to going green, especially in the telco space. What are some of the key factors driving that green movement?
Well, essentially, it's not just green for ergonomic standpoint. It's actually from an economic standpoint as well. At Sun, we say green is the new gold. So from our perspective, it's all about how do you actually deliver a green-based platform with the economics necessary to make that viable for you and your business and your demands from your clients and your customers.
And as far as those clients and customers go, are they welcoming this trend towards greenness?
All clients are welcoming a greener approach. I haven't met anyone that says, no, we don't want green, we want the worst thing possibly for the environment. But what customers are seeing because they're going green is, better products, lower cost of those products, better services because of those products. And really, Sun is really trying to focus predominantly in terms of being at the heart of that shift.
Now, you mentioned lower cost. How does the cost factor in? If you're enhancing products to a certain degree to make them more efficient, how are you also driving down costs?
Well, the most expensive thing in a data center is how you cool the equipment and how you put power to the equipment. So we're seeing 30x changes in terms of power performance in a lot of the technologies that we have. So they produce less heat, they take less heat to cool, they need less power. And consequently, with the CPU technology we have today, with Moore's Law, we're exceeding Moore's Law again. So we're in a situation where you're getting the same price performance and a fraction of the power footprint.
Mm-hmm. Great. And what kind of solutions are available to customers who are looking to become more eco-friendly?
Well, a number of things. So, we have at Sun our black box, which essentially is a shipping container, which is a data center, which is self-cooling in terms of the way it actually cools itself. So again, very highly populated, very highly dense, as we say, both storage and server technology, running Solaris and other based operating systems within it, that you could put down into an environment to extend a data center, or in an area where there is no data center, and you just need to connect it to a local generator, a local power source, and a cooling source. So as operators expand their footprint and provide communications into other markets where there isn't the tele-density today, those solutions become very necessary. As we move to 4G, LTE in the US, what we're going to see is you need much more density of those systems on the edge of the network in order to move content and services around. So the big killer application that everyone's talking about is how do you move video around the network? Mm-hmm. And again, the most economically efficient way of doing that is green is gold.
What does it take for a company to go green in terms of process?
Well, in terms of process, it starts at an engineering level and an ethos or a culture within the company. At Sun, we're an innovation company. We're an engineering company of many sorts. A lot of individuals like to do more with less from a technology standpoint. So everything from getting rid of plastic bottles in the workplace through to using recyclable paper through to our work at home project, where we have 55% of our employees working from home. That a year we estimate saves over 2 million gallons of fuel in terms of just putting gas in the cost of gas in the market at the moment.
Now, take a large service provider, network operator, for instance, looking to go green. Mm-hmm. What's the number one thing that they need to look at as they look to move forward with that initiative?
Well, I think they need to understand that there is a real financial benefit in terms of going green. The second thing is they've got to look for the low-hanging fruit. So a lot of the operators that I've worked with, call center environments are ideal for that. Mm-hmm. They typically are full of hundreds of computers that need to be generated by 80 watts of power, and if they go thin client, they get the same efficiency with 4 watts of power. In fact, we have data centers where the energy credits are so much that the energy company have phoned up and asked them whether the data center or the call center is still there.
So is you mentioned the call center environment, and true, that does seem an optimal place to start. Is there an emphasis among call centers towards going green?
Absolutely. Not only green within the call center itself, but the work environment within the call center. So at peak times, they can actually facilitate agents working from home, through to part-time workers, through to enabling people to come and go from work at non-peak times in order to save energy, save fuel, and make a better, more pleasant work environment.
Great. And what do you see in terms of the future going forward in a green environment?
I think what we're going to see is more data centers that are much highly more populated, which will lead less cooling in terms of the overall environment, that are going to be strategically located in the core of the network near big power sources like hydroelectric dams or wind plants or power stations where they can easily get access to power. And then you're going to see on the edge of the network the black box approach, where you're going to see highly populated dense data centers but on a much smaller footprint, moving content and services to the edge of the network.
Fantastic. Well, fortunately, the cooling in this building is working. Thank you very much. We've been talking with Darrell Jordan-Smith from Sun Microsystems. Thanks again for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Will do. Thank you very much.